Hi, my name is Kay Wiles. I'm from the nominating committee of the Blueprint Council. We are responsible for holding the Blueprint Council elections for elected seats every 2 years. You may ask, what is the Blueprint Council? The Blueprint Council is the governing board and delegated authority and decision-making body of the Continuum of Care, or the COC. The purpose of the Blueprint Council is to set strategy, define annual priorities and activities, monitor our community's performance and implementation progress, review and approve policies recommended through the implementation work groups, and align resources and activities, including funding, with our priorities. So if you are part of the Blueprint Council, I'll just go over that again. This is what you are asked to do as part of that council. Our COC believes that policies and practices should be driven by those closest to the work on the ground. We're committed to relying on their expertise on the best ways to address critical challenges and solve problems. With that in mind, the Blueprint Council is not asked to write policies and implement work themselves. The Blueprint Council is responsible for setting direction and strategy, reviewing and approving policies developed by the experts, holding the system accountable for performance, and aligning resources and activities to support the strategies. As a member of the Blueprint Council, these are some of the expectations you would be held to. We expect the following from the council members: that they are established COC members who are committed to preventing and ending homelessness and participating in committees or work groups of the COC. Council members must attend 75% of all Blueprint Council meetings and cannot send representatives in their place or vote by proxy. They must be available by phone or email. Most of the council business occurs via email or online platforms. They should communicate to outside constituents about homelessness, including peers, industry members, or among the population that they represent. And finally, they must adhere to our charter policies. For example, our conflict of interest policies, and those can be found on the NDCOC website. Here is a list of our current council members. You'll see that there are appointed seats and elected seats. We are here today to focus on the elected seats. So what are the Blueprint Council elections? There are 4 seats representing those with lived experience and service providers. The elected seat terms. So elected seats, there are 2 individuals with lived experience and 2 direct homeless service providers. The terms are for 2 years, and elected representatives can serve 2 terms consecutively, but must take a 2-year break to run for election again. And what are the qualifications to be elected to the Blueprint Council? Let's go over those in detail. There's the COC membership, the Blueprint Council commitment to diversity representation from the homeless response system. So what is the COC membership? COC membership is demonstrated by being involved in the planning and coordination efforts of the COC. For this election, it is important that individuals be familiar with the issue of homelessness, whether it is from their own experience or from the work in the field. Service provider representatives may identify as having lived experience, but is not a requirement. All members must sign a membership statement or identify as having lived experience of homelessness. The membership statement can be found in 2 places. First, if you have not signed a membership statement or are not sure if you've signed one, then one can be found in the nomination form. So if you need to, you can sign it when you submit your form. If you'd prefer, you can also sign it online via FormStack. The web link is provided above. The Blueprint Council's commitment to diversity. The Blueprint Council set goals and expectations to ensure racially diverse representation. These are outlined in our community plan. In establishing our election policies for this year, we will ensure that we have at least one elected representative with lived experience as a person of color and one elected direct service provider as a person of color. The Blueprint Council has made it a high priority to address racial disparity. This intentional policy reflects our commitment to the seriousness of this issue. It will support a more inclusive governance of the COC that is reflective of the people we are serving. A little more about the service provider representation. The nominating committee believes there should be a broad representation of services being offered throughout the COC. Therefore, we are looking for one representative from the crisis response system and the other representative from permanent housing. The crisis response system is a service provider or an individual representing an agency who serves individuals in shelter, street outreach, day shelter, transitional housing, a safe haven, or prevention or homeless diversion activities. The other seat will be for an individual or representative of a permanent housing program, such as rapid rehousing, transitional housing to rapid rehousing, permanent supportive housing, or other permanent housing. We ask that nominees from any type of organization have decision-making authority within their agency, which would typically be director or executive director level positions. The timeline for the 2021 elections: we will be opening the nominations for Blueprint Council elected seats on November 2nd. Nominations will close on November 16th. Nominations will be accepted electronically or on paper. They must be submitted by 5 p.m. on November 16th. Paper nominations must be dropped off at the CHIP office before 5 p.m. Nominees will be notified by November 18th about their inclusion on the ballot and will be offered the opportunity to accept or decline their nomination. Elections will open November 23rd and remain open until December 7th. We will accept votes via online platform. Individuals wishing to vote via paper ballot can print copies of this on the COC website. Paper ballots will be due at noon on December 7th to the CHIP office. Electronic ballots will be accepted until 5 p.m. on December 7th. The membership of the nominating committee will review and certify election results. All candidates will be notified of the results of the election. Elected individuals will have the opportunity to affirm their acceptance of the election prior to the results being announced. The nominating committee will announce the results by November 17th. Results will be posted on social media and on the COC newsletter. If you have questions, feel free to contact Amanda Wilkerson, who is the chair of the nominations committee, or Rachel Sample, who is the general COC support from CHIP. Their information is above. Thank you.